turn his lights on.
Anytime they see another officer stop, they stop too to double check.
But the first officer that came, the first police officer that came around the corner, they kept going.
Just for information for this video, so we can have everything documented. We got pulled over for not stopping at a stop sign. A rolling stop. Mind you, there was a car that came before us. She stopped. She made a right turn. We both noticed him. Both pointed at him. As soon as we get to him, he turned his lights on and followed us and blue lighted us instantly. We're not even 50 feet from the stop sign that we supposedly rolled through. So just to catch everybody up, because I didn't get the video from the very beginning, that's what's going on. I'm waiting to see. I acknowledged information. She did too.
We're waiting on we're waiting on insurance and registration to come back. Mind you, we've been sitting here for about
15 minutes now.
15 minutes, yeah.
We stated that common law was the law being followed. That's the only law by the United States Constitution.
And I've been pulled over before for license and registration and car insurance. It's never taken 15 minutes to figure it out, nor does it take 2 more police officer cars to check on anything.
Right. So. And we're just stating all this for our safety, to ensure ourselves, to make sure that we're not out of line.
Yes.
Need you to step out of the car for me, okay?
For what exactly?
You're under arrest.
For what?
For DUS, driving under suspension.
Sir, I have documentation that shows that. Sir, I have documentation that proves that cannot be punishable by arrest. I have affidavits and everything. The person who's coming to drive the vehicle is bringing those actual things as well. How much is it? How much I have to pay to get her out right now?
No, I'm saying for the bill.
No, once you take her down there, how much is the ticket? That's bright.
Stuff up.
That's understandable, but my hands are in front of you.
Yeah.
How much is the ticket, sir? How much is the ticket? Could you tell me how much this ticket is?
Here.
Can I open this?
That's fine.
How much is this ticket?
We don't make the fines. The judge would.
Can you shut the car door, please?
He opened it to talk to me.
I did.
Shut my door. Shut my car door. Shut the door.
You close it. I'll be down there. I'm coming. This shouldn't be happening, and I got proof of it. Now, they just tried to place her under arrest for driving under suspension. This is a private, personal convoyance. This is not operated to make commerce, not under the commerce laws, not under the UCC laws, and we have not damaged anything or injured anybody. I'm really getting fed up for this, because now they're trying to arrest her when she shouldn't be going to jail. If it was a fine, that's fine. Things could have been worked out, but now, on top of Rock Hill City, on top of Lancaster County Municipal Court, on top of a judge, the DA that called me to certain things in the situation at court, and the fact that the judge walked out on me during my court case and hearing. I know these things to be factual, and I know these things to be true. Now we're going to have issues, and we're going to have to get everybody's information.
What's up?
I just wanted to know, because I did try to speak with him.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have affidavits, I have information, and the person that's bringing my car, like for the situation that's going on,
right.
And I even have it recorded on here now. I've been recording.
Okay, that's fine.
The initial stop was for rolling through a stop sign, the one right here on Hunter Street.
I wasn't there.
I know.
Yeah.
There was a car that came first, then we turned. We couldn't have rolled through that stop sign due to the turn, which I feel like as soon as me and her both pointed him out, there goes the police. We both seen him. As soon as we get to him, lights come on and he's behind us.
Okay.
We're totally like right there from it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well,
I have these paperwork in the documentation.
To a driver or whatever. If the driver doesn't end up coming,
The driver's coming from Blackburn, right here on
sweet.
Blackburn. But I don't want to make no movements, boss. I'm just trying to get in a position because I've been to court for this. I went to court on the 8th for this, and I pleaded my case with this now. I've even talked to the senator's office, the bar administration, certain things, and I have clear documentation saying that these shouldn't be punishable by arrest. If y'all needed somebody else
Can I
to
explain something though? Just to kind of
the state law, the state statutes, and the
is
United
that
States Supreme Court.
She's had 3 in the past 5 years. Which
And
makes
2
her,
of them she's fighting now because of the same documentation that I have to present to y'all.
Right, but it's still shown in our system. So the thing is, when you got 3, they put you in a class called a habitual traffic offender.
But these all happened in like the last 3 months. We're going to court for them now with these papers and these affidavits to handle it.
Okay.
And that's why, like, under the UCC law, trafficking, I understand, but we're not under commerce law. As much as these people have
Is this your driver?
yes.
Okay.
But as much as we argue back and forth, there's only 3 laws we can be held by. That's common law, admiralty law, and the civil law. I know this. I'm very fond of the law.
I'm glad you know your rights. I'm glad you look into law and all that stuff, man.
And I even have Supreme Court cases saying that you shall not be arrested for a traffic infraction. She's being arrested now.
Right.
And that's an issue because it directly states Article 1, Section 3 of the United States, the South Carolina Constitution says that any state cannot be abridged from the rulings of the law of the land, Supreme Court rulings, and they have to abide by them. Anybody acting under the color of law will be held accountable for it. And I have a court case right now with Rock Hill City. I had the judge walk out of my court case because of these things I'm presenting.
Okay.
I have the president of the NAACP. I have all these papers. Thank you. Like I'm real ready. You mind if I step out? And I want to
explain something.
I just want to show y'all this before y'all take her to jail.
That's fine.
Because the fact of taking her to jail, then that's gonna be a problem where we're gonna have to file charges for that. And I don't want to do that because she needs to go home to her son. She just got off
Because of
work.
the circumstances, she's not going to be arrested. She's under arrest. She's going to have to go through the process. Okay, I understand you got paperwork and everything, and that's great.
Can I show this to him just so he can know? Because it's gonna be an issue because of the things we're going through now, and we're trying to dissolve issues.
Can you come?
We're trying to dissolve altercations and issues. That's why I have a nonprofit organization I'm funding. I have organizations that I'm with. I actually have a meeting on the 30th with the chief of police of Rock Hill at the Emmett Scott Center.
Okay.
Like, all this is actual documentation.
All right.
Directly from what can be allowed and what can't be allowed. Okay. And the fact that she's being arrested,
well, like I said,
that's an issue.
We can take a look at it, but like I said, we're not going to unarrest her. She's going to have to go through the process.
I've seen his video. He's got a video. Okay. I'm familiar with him.
I mean, it's straight now.
I've seen it.
See, like, this,
she's driving the vehicle.
And I'd like to show it to the arresting officer because I'm going to have to go through this process and then
Boss, could you do me a favor though? I don't want you to get hit, man.
I understand.
Could you stand in front of your car for me? You can shut your door
now?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way that I could talk to him before he leave? I just want to show him the information.
You can bring all that information to court, sir.
I've already been to court for this. That's what I was saying. I
don't want you to get hit, man. I'll talk to you.
No hostility at all. Nothing like that. I'm looking out for your safety. I just went to court on the 8th.
Can you stand in front of your car because we kind of ain't quiet.
And that's why I was hoping she got me before he pulled off with her. And that's why I want to show him. Just because if it wasn't known, that's one thing. But if I showed documentation, like I had to go with her. already these are up-to-date cases that's been moving our case. Just like right here, it says traffic infractions are not crimes. They cannot be just non-arrestable offenses. That's a direct law that cannot be violated. A direct law. Because anything passed by the Supreme Court in the people's favor becomes law of land, or any court under it is considered inferior, and they have to abide by it. Operating outside of that is color of law, and that's punishable by 1 year of federal time and a fine. Like I'm very aware of the laws, and that's why I wanted to talk to you.
I know you know your stuff. Listen. No.
Yes, sir, but look, I talk to other officers and they feel like I'm getting aggressive, but it's not that I'm getting aggressive. It's just, I know you know your state look at it, I feel better than you.
I've seen your videos.
Oh, you see my video? Okay, well then that's
with you.
okay, that's, I don't hear that often.
Yeah, I see your videos, man.
I don't hear that often.
You do your research.
Yes, sir, and that's why
Do me a favor, man. I don't want you in the traffic, man.
I'm gonna come to this side. But it just kind of shook me up because of how things occurred. In order for him to see a rolling stop coming out of that corner on
Well, I don't know
Plymouth
what
Street,
his
I
protocol
understand.
was for the stop.
No,
okay,
I have it recorded as well. He said that we did a rolling stop through the stop sign.
Okay.
But with an oncoming car, that's impossible. Because we have to stop and allow that car to go by.
Like I said, I don't know what the protocol is,
Yes, sir, and I
but I know she,
understand
her driver's license.
It was, but the thing is, we are taking this step because we're not going to get them again because by law, we're not required to. If I'm operating in commerce and it's actually the UCC 1-308, traffic by definition of Black's law is anything that's gaining commerce or money or trade or any of them that nature.
I hear what
So
you're saying,
on the traffic ticket, the fact that it says traffic ticket itself, that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? And I've been to these courts. Like I said, I just had a judge. I had Judge Modler. She walked out of my case.
I'm very familiar with you, sir. Like I said, you do your research, but as far as her being arrested, she was arrested, and you should have a federal magistrate to unarrest somebody. You do know that.
But the thing is, he hurried up the arrest to get to that point. Does that make
What's your
sense?
name, man?
My name is Richard.
What's your last name,
Frank.
Mr. Frank.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frank, at this time, what I would tell you to do is bring all
Because
your
now I'm
stuff.
gonna have to pay a bond that has to go to her rent.
That may
you know
not
what
be
I'm
the
saying?
case. She may get out on a PR. That's not up to me.
Not with the two. She has 2 pending that we're fighting right now. So that's gonna be a problem because we're in the process of
I
fighting.
understand that.
I just went to court April the 8th for driving under suspension and had the judge walk out on me. I had the judge of Rock Hill City tell me that I was being charged with a criminal case under civil law. Under civil law, which I know is totally unreal. It cannot happen that way. That's not how the law is set up. A criminal case under civil law. And I want to present these things because if people don't know, and I give it to them the knowledge, if they go against it, then there's a problem. And I'm not looking for a problem. That's why I wanted to resolve it with him before it got this far. Because if it was something that was iffy, I'd understand. But it's direct content and direct context coming from the law books, the United States Constitution. Like I said before, in the first article, the 3rd section of the South Carolina Constitution, it says that you can't go against it. It cannot be abridged. Anything that is a right cannot be changed into a mere privilege and involved in attack or arrested for the right given. Just like South Carolina doesn't give us the right to transport anything. South Carolina does not give us the right in a personal vehicle. If it was involved in
South Carolina, driving in the state of South Carolina is a privilege.
Driving, motor vehicle, and operators are only defined in commercial law. Proven. I have it right here too. Only defined in commercial law. Commercial law defines driver, operator, and motor vehicle to be commerce terms, which means operating employee, employer for
being paid for operating the vehicle itself. That's why they have to have insurance on the vehicle. Because if something happens, the employer is the one responsible for the vehicle. But how the laws are set up, and that's what
knowledgeable of the laws, Mr. Frank. Like I said, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but
I know. I'd rather explain it because I'm gonna have to go up here and do the same thing. And if I talk to y'all and the knowledge is true knowledge, is actual facts, I got it reference. I got the reference numbers, the section numbers, everything that needs to be needed for them to find that same exact thing in their law book. This is exactly that. And I try to stress that because if y'all can use that against us, why can't that protect us? Just for the simple fact, she should still be here with us. We should have just got a different driver if that was the case for tonight. That's what I'm trying to stress. But even though she has two, why not, sir? If I have proof that, but see, it is a privilege under commerce law. Y'all are defined as being commerce law. When y'all write a ticket, that's operating and contracting revenue. I have it here. I have it here. Because the fact that salary pays for the buildings, the public buildings, to give y'all checks and the things of that nature, like I said, I don't disown nobody for their title because y'all are very important. Y'all need protect and everything. I believe in that firmly. But it's set up in a way to protect us as well. The fact that we do pay you once, that ticket is now revenue. Because we have to go there and pay that ticket, and that ticket gets dispersed throughout the whole jail system. It does.
it doesn't come to me.
In a small percentage. It's very
It doesn't
small.
come to me.
It's
I
very small.
I pay taxes too,
I know,
boss.
but the only thing
So what you saying is,
it's just when that badge
but
is on
listen,
and when
but
you
listen.
clock in. Like if I was to clock in at my job,
But
I'm
listen.
directly responsible for that job and
I pay
position.
taxes too, so
I know
I'm
that.
paying myself. You see what I'm saying?
I understand. That's why I said I wasn't devaluing.
I understand that. I understand.
And I try to talk
having a
and
conversation
get the
here.
words the right way before
Yes,
it gets taken the wrong way.
No,
But
we just,
that's
we
that's
just
just
having a
like the
conversation.
DA and the judge and they work for me. They're here for me to use their services to help me. Just like y'all.
Yeah,
We're supposed to help y'all, and y'all supposed to help us. Y'all's job is to protect and serve and
That is
help us.
correct, sir.
Just like when we go to court, now we're gonna have another court date. I just went through this. The fact that the ticket's given by the state and y'all are judging with a state judge is a conflict of interest. It's a biased process. I'm going through all this right now. I have organizations. I have the president of the NAACP of Rock Hill Branch. I have all this information and people behind me, and that's why I wanted to speak with him first. Because the arrest, it should have never been an arrest. If anything, a citation, a summons to appear in court to handle the legal action taken.
Yes, sir.
And I want to be in agreement because when I go down there, I'm going to have to state this. And y'all have been nothing but polite to me. You
And that's what
understand?
we're here for.
And I
wanna be
really
professional.
appreciate that because most times I don't get that much. Because they think that I'm not knowledgeable. They think that I'm just reading off something. But no, I've done years of research for this. I've been through many different court cases. So when I go, I have to write everybody who was involved in the stop, whether it's good or bad. Y'all were most definitely great officers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna state that, but I'm gonna also have to state that the information was given to him, and he denied that information. Because once that information is given and you deny it, that is basically treason. Because the information, you might not have known it before this stop, but the fact that I have it and it is true and it can't be altered, and I gave it to him, the fact that he went against it is color of law. You're operating as the law under another circumstance. State codes, violations, all that, codes, violations, statutes, I have it defined here. Those are not laws. That is an organization. When you break contract with that organization, those are the fines and the penalties and the consequences. It's all contracted.
Right, but when somebody goes to get a driver's license, but it
The fact that she didn't go get her driver's license back broke that contract with the DMV. Does that make sense?
Because now that we know we're not operating under commerce law, now we know we don't have to. The fact that we stated that, and I have the documentation, and it says it all the way down from tags, registration, insurance are not a requirement for personal.
Case law too.
But case law does not overhold Supreme Court rulings. Is that true or false?
Case law was made from the Supreme Court ruling. Is that true or false?
It stems off of it. But they
We're
twisted.
saying the same thing.
They twisted.
We're saying the same
Am
thing.
I lying? They twisted a little bit. Because if it stems off of the case law stems from the Supreme Court, it directly states the same thing. Correct?
In a way, yes.
Because when you change one word, you have now twisted. One word. One word could be the most important thing in the sentence to make the sentence stand at what it stands for. One word. And that's what this is for. I carry this on me everywhere I go, I carry this on me for that reason.
Well, what I would do, Mr. Franklin, is
I want to show y'all one more thing because I really, if I show y'all, when I go talk to these people, these officers allowed me to show them this. And that this stuff is factual. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't agree to all of those words, but I'll look at what you got and I'll listen to what you got.
And I'd like to show you too because you've been reasonable with me, and I just. Like right here, officials who involve themselves in such unlawful acts in an unfortunate legal situation, for it is a felony and a federal crime to violate or deprive citizens of their constitutionally protected rights. Traveling is a constitutionally protected right. Everybody knows that. The Fifth Amendment states that traveling is protected and can't be altered. Can we agree to that? I have it right here if y'all like to read it. But can we agree to that? Do y'all know that, that much of what I am stating? Am I stating it right?
The Fifth Amendment?
Yes. And it says any personal conveyance, carriage drawn by any kind of animal, automobile, or any other locomotive
Of the United States.
Of the United States of America. And if the United States Constitution declares our right protected, how can South Carolina privilege us to operate
That's the right not to
travel? The right to travel.
For the United States Constitution.
Exactly. And in the first yeah, I have it. I come prepared, boss man. Like you said, you see my videos. I come prepared.
Yeah, you got your paperwork together.
I come extremely prepared.
That right is not to have to testify against yourself.
No.
To answer.
Nor be deprived of
capital or yes, sir.
Nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property. Property. This is her property.
Okay.
It's personal.
I'm just running that over
I understand.
my head.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Because when you plead the Fifth, you don't want to say anything that's going to
incriminate you. But
that's
it also
the basis of the Fifth.
But it also states that if you go look up the right to travel, I have it right here. Like I
just want to make sure we in the same context.
And I'm glad that you're giving me the question so I can show you.
Yes.
Because if I show you, it's better than me telling. Because I could go off of what somebody said, or I can show you exactly where it came from. Like I have all kind of things about the UCC, which is any government official that operates under that is under the UCC law. The citizen actually has more authority than the judge, the bailiff, the arresting officer. We have more authority. It's been upheld in Supreme Court for the simple fact that we have citizens arrest, and if I feel anybody in the courtroom is violating any of the penal codes, I can arrest them under that penal code. DA, commissioner, bailiff, anybody who's involved. I can arrest them and I can prosecute them and I can serve them right then and there, and they have to be arrested. If the bailiff does not arrest them, the bailiff has to be arrested himself too. So it is serious. We have 3. Case law does not overcome common law, admiralty law, or civil law. It doesn't. That's what the Supreme Court states. If I'm under civil, I have to have damage to property, or I have to have damage to bodily injury to a person. If it's criminal, you can only charge me under admiralty law or common. Keep getting denied common. You're saying it's not admiralty law because that has to do with military factions and things of that nature. How are you going to hold a state law over common law, which states these things have to be followed? It states that.
I don't think I'm following you.
All right. This is the
I'm not
South
following
Carolina,
what you're saying, because South Carolina has its own separate laws,
but
and then
those do
the
not.
federal government, the federal
Exactly.
system has their own
Exactly.
separate laws.
And the information that I have, the federal law has already defined traveling to be something that is a born right.
Well, once the federal government establishes something,
It becomes law of the land.
it is.
And that's what wasn't
It's
followed
law.
today, is what I'm saying. That wasn't followed
Because
today.
I think we both have a misinterpretation of
In the first section, matter of fact, I'm gonna pull this all out because the notebook itself, plastic and paper, is sliding.
So you basing that off the Fifth Amendment?
No, this is research, extensive research into each and every subject of the whole matter
so
itself.
Some of those are opinions.
No, everything I have here is facts. I wouldn't bring
Well,
it
I'm just asking.
because I present this stuff in court when I go to court. Like I said, I just went to court on the 8th, and I had the judge walk out, abandon her position, no recess, no break, got up out of her chair and left for about 10-15 minutes. I have it recorded.
Well, I'm asking.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
question.
explaining
Yes.
why I feel the way that I feel, because I've been through so much, and I have so much actual facts about.
What is that right there, you?
That was under this was the 16th. That was the conflict of interest, what I told you about earlier.
Okay.
The judge cannot judge the case and be the one to present the charge, accuse. The state is accusing her of driving under suspension, and the state judge commissioner is going to judge her on that charge. That's a direct conflict of interest. Another direct conflict of interest is the fact that we are the ones who pay that salary. It's an employee-employer relationship. We pay the judge. It might sound far-fetched, but it's been defined and it's been ruled upon.
I see what you're saying.
And that's a
But
direct
I
conflict
just
of
think
interest.
we have a difference of opinion on that.
Yeah, I understand
See
that.
what I'm
I understand
saying?
that. But I'm just giving the facts that I found
No, yes, sir.
because
Yes.
me presenting my facts, therefore I know that I didn't state anything misleading. Because if I mislead, then it's going to be looked upon as me being a liar or try to bend it for my own good, which I don't want that. I want it to be direct.
And that's what we're doing. We're having a conversation.
Yes, sir. And I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate
I
y'all.
want you to see where I'm coming from. You see what I'm saying? So
Like
I want to make sure that we on the same page. That's the Constitution that you
the
hold.
14th Amendment. All portions. Oh, let's see. 10, 11. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law.
Yes, sir.
So
Well,
the
that's
fact,
what we are doing.
exactly,
the
and that's what I was
process of
stating,
law.
and that's what I was stating. The fact,
So this to me, my opinion of what just happened
Mhm.
is she will have her due process of law because at this moment she's cloaked in innocence.
I understand that,
You see what
but
I'm
my only issue, because everybody else was perfect, respectful, and everything. I had no problem with everything else that occurred. The only thing that I have an issue with is the fact that she was arrested, because being arrested is the key part. If we are proven innocent until proven guilty, how can you arrest us for something the United States Constitution says shall not be allowed? And it states that. It states these things are not punishable by arrest. Not. And if it's not punishable by arrest, how can y'all arrest her for a driving infraction that is purely only defined under the UCC code?
See, I don't get where you're coming from because that is all due process.
But
All due process.
okay, say
That's
for
what
instance,
the amendment you just showed me.
if the law states I can't be arrested and y'all arrest me, there's
the
no.
law hasn't stated that.
The United States Constitution and Supreme Court have stated this, that we shall not be arrested for these infractions or violations or statutes that were broken, even though we already broke our contract with the DMV. The police department and the highway agency works in cohesion with the DMV as an organization.
Well, when you put it like that, when you spin it like that.
But is that not how it is?
That is not how it is.
How not? Because
that is not how.
So the DMV and the police department and the sheriff's office aren't organizations? Because y'all were founded. Anything founded has to be organized and be considered an organization. I have documentation of the organization founding date, and it says organization's founding date. So the fact that y'all are acknowledged in y'all's own system as an organization, how can it be stated to me when I present the facts against the organization, they're denied?
I just think that what you call infraction, just the definitions
that's why just me appearing in court,
interpretations of the definitions.
just me appearing in court, and appearance itself by definition is voluntary submission to jurisdiction. So if I'm using the same terms that are being used against me, how come they don't work in my favor when I have just as much authority? And if nobody, if that was the case, she wouldn't be arrested.
The law is the Fourth Amendment. That's the basis of law.
If that was the case,
even touched on that.
If that was the case, if that was the case, with the facts being proven, that is stated, nobody shall be arrested for a traffic infraction because they are not punishable by arrest. I can be summoned, I can be found guilty, and I can pay a fine. But the fact that they state not punishable by arrest, and that was the ruling, and the ruling was in favor of the people.
Infraction. It doesn't say
driving under suspension is an infraction under the organization. That's what it is. Because if traveling is a right and driving and operating for commerce is a privilege.
It's a privilege.
Who's making money?
You don't have the right.
Who is making money?
I don't know.
No, but that's what I'm implying. Like,
yes, sir.
The fact that we wasn't making money, we wasn't getting paid, we wasn't employed to drive this vehicle. This vehicle is a personal vehicle just to get from work to the kids to school, to go get milk from the store, whatever personal need, it defines those personal needs in the Constitution, the United States Constitution. It defines those as not being privileges. They are rights that even the United States Constitution can't take from us. How can the South Carolina reword it or derive a law off of it, and it says that y'all can't be abridged from that law itself?
When you say that driving to work and you going to get paid,
I'm getting paid for the actual action of working, yes, not the operation of the vehicle. Like if I drove an 18-wheeler, I am required a license, insurance, registration, because it has to be registered to the original owner that you're employed through. It has to be insured, so in case something happens to the vehicle or anybody else, the insurance covers your aspect of actually operating that. And the license is showing that you have been trained to operate under the fact of gaining commerce in that vehicle. And those are direct facts. It'd be different if it wasn't written and documented and stated and ruled in our favor. I could understand. And I wouldn't have a problem with it, because I'm not trying to break the law. I'm trying to enforce what I learned now, because it took me years to understand this. And the fact that it's been so many years, this even applies to you when you're not on duty. These are things you don't have to have, just because those are your personal items. Any consumer good cannot be taxed, or you can't be fined. No, it's not. It's not. I have that defined. Consumer goods are personal consumption.
If you go to Walmart and you buy something,
do you get taxed again once you get it home? Do you have to go register it?
Well, you get taxed when you buy it.
That's a sales tax. That's not a consumer. When you go to the state building and you bought this
If I
car,
bought a car, yeah.
if you bought
and I
this
keep
car,
that car,
why do I have
every
to pay
year
the
and
state?
taxes on it?
Why do I have to pay the state taxes when the state doesn't own my vehicle? I do.
You have to.
That's what it's
I have
defining.
to pay taxes on my car. I have to pay taxes on my
Understand?
house.
But what I'm telling you is, as of now, these